Hi all of you, I am Mayur Nahta from Yeshas Academy. I hope everybody has done well in their CA Foundation November 2018 examination. I am over here to do a review of the accounts paper which was asked in November 2018 examination. As expected, the institute has asked 25 marks theory, 21 to 25 marks theory they have asked, and the theory were very simple and approximately all the theory were discussed in the class. Like for example, if you see the paper on the screen, state with reasons whether the following are true or false. Overall expenses for the engine of motor car. We did the discussion of all these things in the class in a chapter called Capital and Revenue Expenditure, and we had provided you the notes for that. So the questions being asked in the examination were 100% from the discussions done in the class. Similarly, if you see the next set of questions, especially this one, what would be the treatment if the closing stock appears in the trial balance while preparing the final accounts? Based on this, we did a full discussion in our final accounts chapter. If the closing stock appears inside the trial balance, if the closing stock does not appear inside the trial balance, how are we going to treat it while preparing trading and P&L account? And then we did a small concept based question also. We took a small question and we discussed it, that if adjusted purchases are given, then how will we prepare the trading account? So I am really happy that the paper which has been asked is from the discussions which we did in the class. And now look at this example, the depreciation. This kind of example also we had discussed in the class similar to this. And this is based on the treatment of depreciation if the assets are revalued upwards. We discussed this similar question in a chapter called depreciation under a topic called revaluation of property, plant and equipment. And similar question our institute also tested us in exam. So if you would have done our material properly, I am 100% confident you would have done very well in exam. There is no doubt about it. Similarly, this question where they are asking us to pass the journal entry in the subsequent year, means the rectification has to be done in the in the next accounting period. The books of accounts has already been closed. The books of accounts has already been closed. The rectification is taking place in the next accounting period. Based on this, we had discussed this concept in the class, that how to rectify the errors if the rectification is being done in the next trading period and with the help of suspense account. Similar type of question we have discussed in the class. They have asked about the product method. They asked us to prepare an account current using product method. We rather discussed a step, we discussed a little higher level question also. They asked a very simple question from account current. We discussed little higher level where many more entries were there. So this is the question which we discussed in the class, and similar question was asked in the exam, but in the class we discussed with more entries in it. And in exam they asked the number of entries which they gave in the class was little less in the exam. So I am really happy that the paper which was asked in exam was from our class discussions. So if somebody has attended the classes regularly, has read the notes properly, they would have definitely done very well. And this 15-mark question of partnership, similar question exactly with same adjustments, we have full details we had discussed it luckily. So if you can see over here, the question which was asked in exam from admission of a partner, Same, only the amounts are different. Outstanding liability, 3 partners are there. All the adjustments are also similar, and then they are asking us to prepare revaluation account, capital account, balance sheet. So this entire 15-mark question was directly from our discussion done in the classroom from the Yeshas Study material. This question, again the same thing, they are asking us to find out the missing information. It's a question from trading and P&L account. This question was for 5 marks. Commission, only the amounts are different. This question also we happened to discuss in a chapter called Final Accounts. So in the Final Accounts chapter, similar questions we had discussed. Instead of question mark in the classroom, we have used the word A, B, C, D, E for the unknown figures. Instead of question mark, we use the word D, C, F, D, E, A, B, and commission was given to us. And this was question number 16 from our Final Accounts chapter of Yeshas Study material. So overall, the conclusion which I want to tell again and again is that paper was 100% covered was from the 100% discussions done in the classroom. And even I want to talk about this question specifically from consignment. This kind of question was not there in the ICA study material, where abnormal loss and normal loss both are there. Still, we did one example where we discussed that if there is normal loss as well as abnormal loss, how it has to be dealt, and we did a detailed solution of this. So if you would have read the notes, you would have been able to attend these questions. BRS was also from the class discussion, and this type 2 question from NPO. There were 4 types of NPOs. I had divided the NPO chapter into 5 types, out of which this was the question from type number 2, where balance sheet was given, receipts and payment was given, and they asked us to prepare the income and expenditure account and the closing balance sheet. Same question we did in the class, similar question, where first balance sheet was given, receipts and payment was given, and they asked us to prepare the income and expenditure account and closing balance sheet, which we call it type 2 question. In the paper, they asked a question on the preparation of balance sheet. They gave us certain ratios and they asked us to prepare the full-fledged balance sheet. Like the question which we did towards the end of the ratio analysis chapter, where ratios were given and we were asked to prepare balance sheet and the financial statements of the entity. And last but not the least, these all questions on 4 feature had been discussed in the class through 7-8 different cases. Notes had been dictated, and after notes, even similar questions were solved in the class. We had done on 4 feature some 7-8 cases, and the question which was asked in the exam were all from those 7-8 cases. And after doing those 7-8 cases, we also individually discussed a separate question for each one of them on 4 feature of shares. And the last one on the treatment of how to write off, calculate the amount to be written off each year. This was also thoroughly and in details discussed in the class. We had done a full detailed discussion about the treatment of discount on issue of debenture to be written off with MCQs and with separate questions and theory and accounting treatment from our study material, treatment of discount on issue of debenture. We did 2 examples, how it has to be dealt with, and we did not end over there. We also happened to discuss various types of MCQs on discount, on the treatment of discount on and calculation of discount on issue of debenture. So basically, first point which I want to communicate to you all is, if you would have studied Yeshas study material thoroughly, that would have been more than enough for us to get very good marks in exam. And I hope that you have gone through the class discussions, class notes, whatever was told to you in the class, and you would have followed that and implemented that in exam. With this, I wish you most and more, and I hope to see you again, once again in CA intermediate classes. All the very, very best. Thank you so much.